During the December Democratic debate, Elizabeth Warren went after Pete Buttigieg on campaign finance. This is one of the top moments of the debate. Let me show you this.
The mayor just recently had a fundraiser that was held in a wine cave full of crystals and served $900 a bottle wine. Think about who comes to that. He had promised that every fundraiser he would do would be open door, but this one was closed door. We made the decision many years ago that rich people in smoke-filled rooms would not pick the next president of the United States. Billionaires in wine caves should not pick the next president of the United States.
Mr. Mayor, your response. You know, according to Forbes magazine, I am literally the only person on this stage who's not a millionaire or a billionaire. So if this is important, this is the problem.
Let me just stop him there. It's not important. That has nothing to do with anything. In fact, let me show you, since Natalie sure broke it down well here. To be clear, Pete Buttigieg has less money because he's 37, not because he hasn't structured every second of his career around getting powerful and connected enough to finally leave politics and cash in. That's it. This idea that, oh, Elizabeth Warren, you have $1 million, or Bernie Sanders, you have $1 million, so that must mean you're fighting for wealthy and corporations. No, it obviously doesn't. Look at who's behind them. Look at how Bernie's raising his money. Look at what he's fighting for. Look at his 40-year record. It's about who they are actually meeting with, if they're meeting with anybody. Bernie Sanders is not meeting face-to-face with wealthy donors. Bernie Sanders is not having private fundraisers. Neither is Elizabeth Warren, at least not in the primary. She said she'd be more open to it in the general. But right now, Pete Buttigieg meeting face-to-face with wealthy donors in a wine cave is going to have more of an impact on what he's going to do than Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren having $1 million. Like, it's about who you meet with. You're impacted by your environment. It's human nature. So because Bernie Sanders understands that, he doesn't have those meetings because he understands people are victims to their nature. If you're surrounding yourselves with wealthy individuals, with CEOs, with executives, you're going to take on their worldview, whether you like it or not. Pete Buttigieg is taking on that worldview. I mean, you can go back and read his essay when he was 18 about how awesome Bernie Sanders is. He wrote that essay in the year 2000. Bernie Sanders is incredible. He's like the one clear voice in Washington. Now look at him, meeting with wealthy donors in a wine cave. Like, that's what matters here. Let me continue this.
With issuing purity tests you cannot yourself pass. If I pledged never to be in the company of a progressive Democratic donor, I couldn't be up here. Senator, your net worth is 100 times mine. Now, supposing that you went home feeling the holiday spirit, I know this isn't likely, but stay with me, and decided to go on to PeteForAmerica.com and give the maximum allowable by law, $2,800. Would that pollute my campaign because it came from a wealthy person? No, I would be glad to have that support. We need the support from everybody who is committed to helping us defeat Donald Trump. I'd like to give you a chance to respond.
I do not sell access to my time. I don't do call time with millionaires and billionaires.
Sorry, as of when, Senator?
I don't meet behind closed doors with big dollar donors. And look, I've taken one that ought to be an easy step for everyone here. I've said to anyone who wants to donate to me, if you want to donate to me, that's fine. But don't come around later expecting to be named ambassador, because that's what goes on in these high dollar fundraisers. I said no, and I asked everybody on this stage to join me. This ought to be an easy step. And here's the problem. If you can't stand up and take the steps that are relatively easy, can't stand up to the wealthy and well-connected when it's relatively easy when you're a candidate, then how can the American people believe you're going to stand up to the wealthy and well-connected when you're president and it's really hard?
Judy.
Senator.
Yeah, that's it. We don't need to hear Pete Buttigieg anymore. I mean, he's completely full of crap. You can just tell, apart from this exchange, his plans, Medicare for all who want it, it's a public option. And he is purposely lying to people about what it is. A public option does not operate the same way as Medicare for all. It's not Medicare for all who want it because it wouldn't be Medicare for all. Medicare for all is a single payer system. Everybody being on the same plan means you have free choice of doctor, free choice of a provider. You have complete free choice. You have freedom. You don't have to apply to, the public option. You don't have to apply to anything. It is not Medicare for all is Medicare for all. It is not a public option. So Pete Buttigieg there being completely disingenuous about his healthcare plan. And then he has, the Douglas plan for Black America, where he lies about the support in South Carolina that supports his Douglas plan for Black America. The top 3 people that the Buttigieg campaign put out there as these are the 3 important people in South Carolina that support Pete Buttigieg's plan for his Douglas plan for Black America. None of them support it. One of them is actually a Bernie Sanders chair. The other 2 were like, we talked to him about it, but no, we didn't endorse his plan. What the campaign did is they sent out emails that said, opt out by 4 p.m. or you have endorsed this plan. So they were automatic endorsements. You had to actually email the campaign back and say, no, I do not endorse this plan for you to not be an endorser. Who does this? And he has never been called on that in any debate or any discussion on television that I've seen. It's crazy. So, he is so disingenuous. And both Amy Klobuchar and Elizabeth Warren, I think, and Bernie Sanders exposed that during this debate. And I hope if enough people watch this debate that it's going to hurt him, because he just came off looking completely horrible. And I just want to show you that wine cave that they were talking about. This is that wine cave. Here's the crystals. Full of crystals. Look at this ridiculous thing. This is what the wealthy do to buy politicians. Look at that. And here's Buttigieg right here in the center as, the main guy listening to all the problems of the wealthy. Get out of here.